Oh, man. Shoulder's killing me. Shooting this weekend, shooting shotguns. Just, oh, man.
What's up, guys? My name's Cody.
And I'm Trevor.
We are the Beardacious.
And you're watching Beard Stew.
For this week's podcast, we are going to do something that we haven't done in a long time, that we did on another episode of the podcast.
It was like episode 2 or 3?
It's one of the first ones.
It was one of the earlier ones. We're going to look at surrealist art and talk about it because that was so fun the first time.
Yeah, we had some weird pictures last time. I'm pretty sure we have some more weird pictures this time.
Well, that's surrealist art for it.
Yeah.
I mean, for those of you who have not seen whatever podcast that was, I can't remember which one it was, go watch it. But if you don't know what surrealist art is, you will find out this podcast.
Think of the picture of the time clocks that look like they're melting. That's surrealist art.
Yeah. It's basically taking like everyday things that you recognize and just completely mixing it up with something else. It's pretty much all it is.
So, each of us have chosen a picture. We don't know the other picture the other person has chosen. We don't... Yeah.
We don't picture the no pictured person.
We don't know the picture that the other person has chosen. So, we've each chosen a piece of art, and we will show it on the screen as we discuss it and what we think about it. So, I'll go first. For the first one, I chose this picture.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Manly.
Now, things are going to get deep with this.
Whoa. Heavy.
It's about to get heavy.
Alrighty.
I've always thought that what if we are a microsecond of somebody else's world? Because think about what we know on Earth. We know of certain things that like the Hadron Collider. Now we're getting into science, and this is going to be completely wrong probably. So forgive me for being wrong because I don't know science.
I forgive you.
We explode something in the Hadron Collider, and something exists for a millionth of a second or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that thing's lifespan. But to it, in its own relative time, it has lived its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
What if we, on Earth, are the same thing? To something that is greater, that's time is completely different to ours. That's kind of what I got from this picture, was just like, it's obviously on the arm of a person, but it's, this landscape, and there's a guy
swinging from it, or
climbing up to it or something. But just that, like, what if, because those are mountains, that's a habitat, and that's on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a habitat there, and that's what I was thinking.
Well, it's like, I actually read a little thing about, like, for example, there's a theory going on with, like, insects, for example, that, because time is relative, based off of, Einstein.
For us, it's relative on our rotation to the sun.
Yeah. So, you think about, like, ants, small bugs, insects, or whatever, that, you sit there and it's like, man, like, like, it's right in front of your face and you go to clap it and you always miss it. Why is that? Is it just because you just can't see it? And it's like, no, you can see it. The theory is that the smaller like something is, the different time perception occurs. So for them, you're moving super slow, so they have time to react to it. It makes sense with like other animals, like dogs, for example, that just have extremely good reflexes. Maybe the perception of time is slightly different from even ours. And
interesting way to think about it.
It's very interesting thinking, and that, to see what, and it makes sense. Like, it does make sense to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, because we don't know we don't know how an insect thinks. We don't know what like bacteria thinks, because a bacteria is a living thing.
Yeah.
And what's that thing's mentality? What's that thing's like life?
Mm-hmm.
That it lives, and some bacteria live very temporarily.
Yeah.
So it lives out its life cycle. Okay, let's take common houseflies. In theory, common houseflies only live for like a day, right? That's kind of like the
yeah,
whole
like 24 to
perspective.
48 hours essentially. So
That thing goes from larva to a full-grown adult fly in I don't even know, because larva takes some time, obviously, but from larva to fly to death is not a very big amount of time.
about a week.
Compared to us living, the average lifespan for Americans is 86 years or something like that.
Yeah, in today's world, yeah.
And once again, we're using 86 years, but that's relative to us. The fly may think that it's living
Well,
an equivalent.
every hour could be like, 20 years to a fly.
Well, that's scary.
It is an interesting thought though, and bringing that up, that's what that made me think of. It's like, because there is actually a theory about that.
Yeah, I mean, because what if we are the bacteria
Mm-hmm.
on something? Like, we look out into space and it's dark. What if we're just underneath the armpit of some dude somewhere else? Who knows? And we think the exploration of these nearby planets is like this great thing.
Oh man!
But on a greater perspective, if you just boom zoomed way out, and we are just sitting on the armpit of some dude, and we're just bacteria.
That totally now makes me think of Men in Black. Remember the ending of Men in Black?
The last time I've watched Men in Black has been years.
The very ending, because like one of the things in the first movie is that they're trying to find the galaxy, and they're like, well, the galaxy is in Orion's belt was the whole clue, and they're like trying to figure out what that means because it's just a grouping of stars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Orion was the name of the cat, and the galaxy was the size of the marble.
Oh, something about that sounds familiar.
And then, there's a whole galaxy in this little marble. Essentially, is the whole that size is relative as well as time, and so at the very end of the film, it basically zooms out on everything, and it shows our galaxy as a marble. And there's a greater life form that has a bag of marbles, plain marbles with them.
Exactly. Like that's what I'm saying. Is what if our existence is just a piece, like a fly?
Yep.
Like a fly. To us, a fly lives a week, but to them, they've lived an eternity.
Mm-hmm.
To us, yes, we live 80 years, but that is because that time is relative to us. But what if our time, relative to whatever is greater than us, is only a week?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, that thing will be gone in a week. Who cares?
Oh, that's scary.
Okay, but here's the crazy part. It makes everything you do every single day pointless. It seriously does. So you mean to tell me that I'm a piece of something else that has no purpose, per se, so that I'm living my life, I'm working, I have all these things that I have to do because society tells me I have to do it so that I can live and die. Eat, work, live, and eventually die.
Yeah.
But on a greater perspective,
Means nothing.
it means absolutely nothing. It's a deep. That's
Oh man.
yeah. So that's what I got from that picture. If you have any other comments or what you thought about that picture that we showed, leave a comment and let us know what you guys think. But we'll move on to Trevor's.
Alrighty. So I actually picked this picture mainly because I like music. And you'll see why I like this picture based off of music.
Well, I see a cloud. Yep, there's the clouds. And a gazelle. Maybe a gazelle. Ooh, look. Some leaves. Those are definitely not leaves. Closer look. Definitely not leaves. Okay, a crane. Just a crane? Just a normal crane. Yeah, looks like those are normal crane. Not sure. I could be wrong.
This one just kind of stuck out to me because it's like, obviously the first thing you see is the elephants that are, tubas. Tuba-headed. And then you see, the gazelle with the harp and whatnot. You look closer into that.
The
and
grass is like trumpets.
The flowers and whatnot, they're symbols. I mean, even, you could say that the birds are kind of shaped like, notes. The clouds, there's notes and whatnot. I just thought it was just kind of an interesting little picture. I just, I personally relate to music. I play piano. I mean, I haven't played in a while, but I don't know. I kind of liked that, taking the whole orchestra of life and nature.
Yeah.
Because, frankly, yes, that is nature. Is it has its own orchestra.
I wonder. This is getting off on a tangent again. Obviously, okay. This is gonna destroy life again. Okay.
You've already destroyed life 3 times, man.
We have pretty much determined that if I move my mouth in a certain way and breathe at the same time in a certain way, that means that I'm trying to tell you something. If I just open my mouth and breathe and go, no, that means absolutely nothing to you. But these words that I'm saying have a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
We assign a meaning to a sound. The word just the. So you think about how you express the word or any word, the. That means something. A simple sound. I'm making a sound with my mouth. The. That to you means that I am trying to convey something specific to you.
Mm-hmm.
Nature.
We're very philosophical here.
But words, like we understand what words are, and we've assigned a value to a sound.
Mm-hmm.
So then what is it for nature? What is it for, various different animals?
Mm-hmm.
And then what about like flies or different insects that...
Back of the fly.
Do they not make a sound? Do we know if they even make a sound? Or is it just humming of wings or, like crickets? Crickets chirp with their legs.
Well, that's the thing, like with like insects, I don't think most insects actually have vocal
Yeah, exactly.
cords. They use mostly wings as their big thing. Any insect you hear that makes a sound is usually going to be wings.
Yeah, because that's another part of like the human anatomy is that we have a cord, a tube in our body filled to an air sac that we slowly compress with our body as we talk to let the air out, and then we have a tongue that moves and muscles in the neck that pinch that pipe and open to make different fluctuations in sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Like that, there's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
And for insects to not have that, it's like, how do they communicate? What is it that, how do they learn?
Well, let's take ants are probably about, ants are fascinating. I hate them in my house. But they are fascinating.
They're fascinating.
They are fascinating creatures. And I read like facts all the time about ants. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like apparently, like for example, everything with ants is chemical.
Yeah.
Like literally it's chemical. It's like, it's all scent. Like, I mean, if you squish an ant, you can smell the ant. It stinks.
Yeah.
But everything is associated with a scent, essentially. And they can sense that with their antenna. When an ant dies, for example, apparently it gives off a chemical scent that tells other ants to pick it up and go bury it. They actually have like burial grounds for ants, and they go bury it. It's like,
interesting.
That's an interesting thing. But it's like that all the time. Like for example, how does an ant tell its own kind from a different hive?
Yeah,
they have their own sense that distinguish that. And
I think that'd be the same argument. How does a baby know its mother?
Mm-hmm.
same thing. It learns its smell, the smell first.
Yeah. It's just one of those fascinating things. I mean, maybe flies have something similar, like, you know, a particular scent as well. Because, I mean, like, for example, pheromones. Pheromones is nature's way of, you know, getting animals to mate, because most animals don't communicate, you know, especially with insects, you know, for example. They don't have, like we said, they don't have vocal cords. They can't tell you, hey, baby.
Hey, yo, baby.
Want to Netflix and chill next week? You know, they can't do that. So, how do they do it? Well, pheromones. You know, it's a chemical that just gives off of the animal, pretty much.
There's also a lot of the male insect or bug or whatever has a different look than the female.
Yeah.
Okay, so the anglerfish. Do you know what the anglerfish is?
It's the little fish.
It's the Finding Dory one with the
light.
The light and the big old jaws and the roar. That is a female anglerfish, which in most times that is actually false, in that the male is usually the bigger, dominant, colorful.
Nature is both ways.
Yeah, because like a peacock, beautiful big old tail feathers. A female peacock, which I don't know the name of them, is ugly. They're
brown.
They're tiny. They're way different.
Yeah, they're way different.
So I think that's kind of a lot of different things, is that they can attract by their dancing, their feathers, the sounds again. But the anglerfish, the male anglerfish, actually attaches itself to the spine of the female anglerfish and is like way smaller than the female.
Sounds like spiders.
I'm glad I'm not a spider.
Female spiders are the ones that you see. The male spiders, you usually see the dead male spiders. You usually don't see the real male spider crawling around, because they're the ones that...
Because what happened?
They go and get jiggy with it, and then they get eaten.
And then become dinner.
Yep.
Dinner served.
Yeah, the male spider is not the dominant of their kind.
So, yeah, nature's interesting. But I do like that picture of...
Yeah, it's just like, you know... you could go so much in completely different directions with that too. You know, like the other direction I could easily go with is that simply that, you know, just the orchestra of life. You know?
Yeah.
Everything has its part. Every part has its part to play.
And we don't know the meanings of these pictures. I didn't do any research. I looked it up on Google.
Literally
found
looked
one that caught my eye.
And we're just talking about it.
Now, we could go look it up, and we could do a whole nother podcast on the actual meaning of the artist. But that's not the point of this section. The point of this section is what we think of the art and what it makes us think of when we see it.
Yep. So if you guys have any thoughts or comments, leave it. You know, we want to hear your opinion about what you guys think.
Yep. But I think that's going to be it for this podcast. But, yep, we are the Beardacious. This is Beard Stew. If you like this video, we have many others like it. Subscribe to our channel, and you'll get updates on our videos every single week as we continue to post new videos.
Check out our website, thebeardacious.com. Check out our beard products, beard oils, beard balms, t-shirts that we've got. We're working on more products and whatnot. We're trying to get our...
Stickers are coming in soon. If you want stickers, there is a limited batch of stickers.
Yep.
So, contact us and let us know if you want a sticker, and we can get that to you.
Yep. We're trying to get out there.
Like and share this video, and that would be much appreciated. And we will see you guys next week with our next podcast.
Beard on.